Last video we started with hybridization. Hybridization is nothing but the intermixing of atomic orbitals. This hybridization theory is introduced to explain the bonding nature in covalent compounds. So, in the last video we discussed sp, sp2 and sp3 hybridization where we have only s and p orbitals involved. In this video we are going to discuss sp3d and sp3d2 hybridization. So, here we have along with s and p orbital we have d orbitals also. So, when you see the shape of s orbital, it is spherical in shape. P orbital, they are dumbbell shape. We have 3 p orbitals. If the dumbbell shape is oriented in x direction, px, oriented in y direction, py. If it is in the z direction, we call it as pz orbitals. All the 3 p orbitals have the same energy and they are called as degenerate orbitals. Now when you go for d orbitals, we have 5 d orbitals and they have double dumbbell shape. And this dumbbell shape will be in the plane between x and y, or y and z, or x and z, or along x and y direction, along z direction. So based on that they will be named as dxy. Dxy means the dumbbell shape is in between x and y, in the plane in between x and y. Dxz means the dumbbell shape is between x and z. Similarly, dyz. Dx squared minus y squared means the dumbbell shape is along x and y direction. Dz squared is only one dumbbell you will have and a downward shape in the middle. That is what we call it as dz squared. All the 5 d orbitals have the same energy and they are called as degenerate orbitals. So now we will see what is sp3d hybridization. So you can take the example, the formation of phosphorus pentachloride. Here you take the central atom as phosphorus. So you write the electronic configuration. You have 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p3. So totally atomic number 15. So 3p3. Here in the S1 you will have k orbit where only one orbital, s orbital alone. Here in the second one where it is L orbit you have s and p. In the third one we have M, third orbit where you have sp orbital, along with that you have d orbital also. So you have sp as well as d orbital in the third orbit. So third orbit is taken as the outermost orbit. Now you can write the ground state configuration. So in the ground state configuration you have in the s orbital 2 electrons. In the p orbital you have 3 electrons. Each one will have 1 electron. Px, py and pz. They will have 1 electron each. And then you have a d orbital which is empty in this case. Now what you have to do is you have to go to the excited state. So when you go to the excited state, one of the s orbital will be promoted to d orbital. So here it is promoted. So you have 1 s and 3 p and 1 d orbitals. All of them are having 1 electron. And now this s and these 3 p and 1 d orbitals, they will undergo hybridization. So they will undergo hybridization to form totally 5 hybrid orbitals. They are called as sp3d hybrid orbitals. Each one will have 1 electron. So you can explain with the help of this diagram. That is, you take one s orbital and then 3 p orbitals. All the 3 p orbitals are perpendicular to each other. So px, py and pz. So here you have px, py and pz. Now next you have one d orbital. So that d orbital can take dz square. So these orbitals, they will undergo hybridization to form sp3d hybrid orbitals, and you have 5 sp3d hybrid orbitals. They will oriented in such a way to minimize the repulsion. So you have this orientation. So here this s and then this hybrid orbital and these 3 hybrid orbitals, they will be in one plane, and this hybrid orbital and this hybrid orbital, they will be perpendicular to this plane. That is, this you have a triangle shape and this hybrid orbitals, they are perpendicular to this triangle. So you can have like this. So this is one triangle you have like this. This is one triangle you have. and this sp3d hybrid and this sp3d hybrid, they are perpendicular to each other. So in this way they will orient. Then this sp3d hybrid orbitals overlaps with pz orbital of chlorine to form sigma bond. So they will overlap like this. So this is in the center you have phosphorus and these are all chlorines. So all this they are chlorine, and this they will overlap. The chlorine pz orbital of chlorine, they will overlap with sp3d orbital of phosphorus to form a sigma bond, and they will share the electron like this. So you will be getting the shape like this. So you have this one, this chlorine, and this one, and this chlorine, and this one. They all will be in one plane. So they will form a triangle shape or trigonal shape. And this chlorine and this chlorine, they will be perpendicular to this plane. So you are getting the geometry like this. So geometry, this phosphorus with this 3 chlorine, they will be in one triangle, a trigonal shape, and this chlorine and this chlorine, they will be perpendicular to this one. So you will be having a pyramid shape at the top and the below of this trigonal shape. So it is called as trigonal bipyramidal shape. So this is how phosphorus pentachloride is formed. So you can explain the formation of PCl5 with the help of sp3d hybridization. Next we have sp3d2 hybridization. So for this you can take the bonding in sulfur hexafluoride. So here the central atom is sulfur. So you take the electronic configuration of sulfur. Sulfur is 16, atomic number 16. So you have K and then L and then M. So M orbit you will have along with S and P, you have D orbit also, T orbital also. So you can write the ground state configuration like this. So S orbital you have 2 electron, P orbital you have 4. So you can write first Px orbital 2 electron, Y and Z they will have 1 electron each. And then you have a D orbital, 3D orbitals also. So you can go to the excited state where you can have D orbital, and so one of the electron from 3s, they will be promoted to D orbital. So you will have from this S orbital and then from this Px orbital, they will be promoted to D orbital, that is dz square and dx square minus y square. For these orbitals they will be promoted. Now you have 1 s orbital and 3 p orbitals and 2 d orbitals. They will have 1 electron each. They will undergo hybridization to form sp3d2 hybrid orbital. So totally 3 plus 1 4, then 6. So totally 6 atomic orbitals are undergoing hybridization. So you will be getting 6 hybrid orbitals. So these 6 hybrid orbitals will have 1 electron each. Now you can show the formation of this one, this hybrid orbitals with the help of diagram. So you can say s orbital and then 3 p orbitals and then this one dz squared orbital and then dx squared minus y squared orbital. These orbitals, they will undergo hybridization to form this 6 sp3d2 hybrid orbitals. They will orient in such a way to minimize the repulsion. So you have the orientation like this. So these will be in 1 square. So this will be in 1 square, and this sp3d2 hybrid orbital and this one will be perpendicular to this one. So you will have like this. So this and this will be in one plane, and this sp3d2 and this sp3d2, they will be perpendicular to this plane. Now this sp3d2 hybrid orbital overlaps with atomic orbital. Here we have taken fluorine. Fluorine have pz orbital with 1 electron. So it will overlap with pz orbital of fluorine. So center you have sulfur, and these are the sp3d2 hybrid orbitals and these are the fluorine pz orbital. So they will overlap to form sigma bonds. So they will undergo head-on overlap and they will share the electron. So you will be getting like this. Now each one will be perpendicular to each other. So they will form an angle of 90 degrees. So here you will have, these are all perpendicular. So this one is perpendicular to this one and this one is perpendicular to this one, and these these two will be perpendicular to each other. So each one will form an angle of 90 degree. So this is the shape of sulfur hexafluoride geometry, which we call it as octahedral, because these will be in one square, and this fluorine and this fluorine, they will be perpendicular to each other. So if you join everything, you will be getting a pyramid shape like this. So above one pyramid, and then below also you will have one pyramid like this. So you will be getting one pyramid like this. So this is, we call it as octahedral shape, octahedral geometry. So this is the formation of sulfur hexafluoride. Next we will go to the bonding in ethylene. Ethylene molecular formula, you have C2H4, you have 2 carbon atoms. Here you take the electronic configuration of carbon. Carbon, you have atomic number 6, so 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So you can write the ground state configuration like this. So s orbital 2 electron, p orbital you have 2 electrons. So one in px and one in py. So this is the ground state configuration. Now to show the tetravalency of carbon, you have to go to the excited state. In the excited state, one of the s orbital will be promoted to this pz orbital. So you will have this configuration. Now here one s orbital and then this px and this py, they will undergo hybridization, not the pz. So only 3 orbitals they will undergo hybridization to form 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, and there is one orbital which is unhybridized, that is pz orbital. So this pz orbital is not unhybridized, so it is unhybridized. Now only these 3 are the hybridized orbitals. So they will oriented in such a way to have an angle of 120 degree. So you will, this is for one carbon. So you can take for one carbon, these are the sp2 hybrid orbitals. So these are the 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, and this orbital and this orbital, they are unhybridized pz orbital. So they are pz orbital. So here also you have one pz orbital. So here this one, this and this, these are all hybridized orbital. These two are unhybridized orbital. So with this hybrid orbitals, the 1s orbital of hydrogen, they will overlap. So like this. So they will overlap like this, and you have a pz orbital which is perpendicular to this plane. So they will undergo lateral. Here this s orbital of hydrogen, they will undergo head-on overlap, but this one they will undergo lateral overlap. Similarly, this orbital and this orbital, they will undergo head-on overlap between these 2 carbon. So you will be getting like this. So between these 2 carbon, you have a sigma bond, because sp2 they will overlap, they will share the electron. Here this sp2 orbital and 1s orbital of hydrogen, they will overlap and they will share the electron. Similarly here also you have one hydrogen, and here you have one hydrogen, they will undergo head-on overlap to form a sigma bond. Similarly here, so you have like this. Now this pz orbital and this pz orbital, they will undergo lateral overlap to form a pi bond. So they will form a pi bond. So you will be getting like this. That is, this C2 hydrogen and this C2 hydrogen, they will be in one plane. And this pz orbital and this pz orbital, they will be perpendicular to each other. So they will undergo lateral overlap to form a pi bond like this. So you have a pi bond formation like this. One lobe will be above the plane, the other lobe will be below the plane. So you will be getting like this. So here you have, this is a sigma bond, this also a sigma bond, this is also a sigma bond. So totally 4 CH sigma bond and 1 CC sigma bond and only 1 pi bond. So totally 5 sigma bonds and 1 pi bond you will have. So this is the formation of ethylene. Next we will go to the formation of acetylene, bonding in acetylene. So you can take the molecular formulas C2H2. So you take the electronic configuration of carbon, you have 1s2, 2s2, 2px1, 2py1, that is 2p2, you can expand like this. So you need not write the ground state configuration, go to the excited state. So one of the s orbital will be promoted to the pz orbital. So you will have one electron in 2s and one in px and one in py and one in pz. So you have this s orbital and this p orbital alone will undergo hybridization. So you will be getting only 2 atomic orbitals are involved. So you are getting only 2 hybrid orbitals, that is sp hybridization they will undergo. So you have, so here they will undergo sp hybridization. So you will be getting only 2 hybrid orbitals, and these two py and pz, they are unhybridized orbitals. They are unhybridized. They does not undergo hybridization. Now this 2p orbital sp hybrid orbitals, they will be like this. They will be linear in shape, making an angle of 180. Now the 1s orbital of hydrogen overlaps with the sp orbital of one carbon to form a sigma bond. Similarly, this carbon and this carbon sp hybrid orbital, they will overlap to form a sigma bond. Here this sp hybrid orbital overlaps with 1s orbital of this hydrogen to form a sigma bond. So you will have like this, that is this carbon and this carbon, you will have sigma sp sp. They will form a sigma bond between carbon and carbon. And this hydrogen, they will undergo head-on overlap to form CH sigma bond. Now this carbon is left with one py orbital and pz orbital. Similarly this one. So they will undergo lateral overlap. So these two and these two, they will undergo lateral overlap to form pi bond. 2 pi bonds they will form. So you can have like this. So py and py, they will undergo lateral overlapping. pz and pz, they will undergo lateral overlapping. So to form a 2 pi bonds. So like this. So this CH, this is a sigma bond, and this is also a sigma bond. This is also a sigma bond, because they will undergo head-on overlap. Now these two, they will undergo lateral overlap to form a pi bond. So you will be getting like this. So one pi bond, you can, one of the lobe is you can show like this, the other pi bond lobe you can show like this. So you will be getting carbon, you have CH sigma bond, CH sigma bond. And in between carbon and carbon you have a sigma bond, and these two are the pi bonds. You have 2 pi bonds. So totally 3 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. The shape of the molecule is linear. So this is the case with acetylene. So acetylene will undergo sp hybridization. Ethylene will undergo sp2 hybridization. So how to identify sp or sp2? If you have one double bond, carbon followed by one double bond, you will have sp2 hybridization. Now if the carbon is following a triple bond, then this carbon will undergo sp hybridization. You remember like this. Now suppose this carbon is surrounded by all single bond, there is no multiple bond, only single bond. Now this carbon will undergo sp3 hybridization. So this is how you can identify which hybridization that carbon undergoes. So next video we will take molecular orbital theory. Thank you for watching.